T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings from SPEC. We'll start the event in 5 minutes. We'll start the event in 5 minutes. We'll start the event in 5 minutes. I think everyone has joined. We shall start. Okay, so more people are joining. We'll wait for another 2 minutes. Let everyone join. The enthusiasm is building up. We are having more views. Okay, I think everyone has joined. We should start. So, greetings everyone. The time has arrived. The century of the horizon is leaning the edge. The extravaganza has begun as we are here with the first pre event of Electrothon 3.0 in collaboration with Aspire for Her. Today's event is to emphasize the importance of sustainable business in today's world. And it is my utmost pleasure to introduce Aspire for Her as a diversity partner. It is a non-profit organization working towards women empowerment, creating a vibrant atmosphere to help young minds bring impressive portfolios. To tell you more, I would like to welcome the CEO of Aspire for Her organization, Mrs. Madhura Das Gupta Sinha, a leading figure in the world of banking for 25 years. So I would like to welcome her on the stage.
Thank you, Aditi. Am I audible? I think I am. A warm welcome to all of you at the Electrothon. I was personally very excited when I heard that NIT Hamirpur was organizing this Electrothon, and I was absolutely impressed by the passion of the young entrepreneurs who were actually going around to getting all of this done. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce Aspire for Her to all of you. What is Aspire for Her? We're a young social startup. We started on Women's Day 2020, and that makes us a little less than 1 year old. What are we trying to do and why? Well, I was looking at the gender data emanating from India, and I realized that India is absolutely at the bottom of the pile as far as the Global Gender Gap Index is concerned. And this is coupled with the fact that the percentage of women in our workforce has been dwindling rapidly over the last 15 years. Why should we care about it? We should care about it because this is a $1 trillion opportunity for our country. And that's the reason why we started Aspire for Her, to motivate young women to enter and stay in the workforce. Does that mean that we are only meant for women? No. We welcome young women and men who want to support our cause to our platform. Our platform is a very happening and vibrant platform. It's actually built by young people like all of you. And what do? We work on a very unique mindset change model. We have lots of mentors and role models. We're all CEOs, CXOs, women leaders in their own fields, women who have built their own companies. We have a plethora of learning opportunities. We have a tie-up with IBM, with Cisco, with VMware, who's actually incidentally predicting that there are going to be 1 million cloud computing jobs in the country in the next couple of years. And we try to nudge our young members towards those spaces where the jobs are. We have career previews every week where we explore interesting career options, not just traditional careers in technology and finance, but also niche, non-traditional ones. A few days back, we actually showcased the career of India's first gamer. She works with a very interesting organization called Zynga, and some of you may be interested in exploring alternative, non-traditional careers like hers. The fourth pillar that we work on is building a very strong peer community. And this is a community of like-minded people who come not only from all corners of India, but from all corners of the world. Because our cause resonates with many people in countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, and of course, the USA. The last pillar that we work on is connecting all of you to those opportunities that will help make wonderful careers. So we connect you to opportunities of employment and entrepreneurship. We have a lot of interesting organizations that are working with us. Those organizations also want to partner with us in changing the diversity equation of our country. The one that we just launched recently was a partnership with Barclays, and they are very, very serious about also getting a very diverse workforce, because it's only diversity that can add to their productivity and to their sustainability. So I'm very happy that we are actually thinking sustainability as a part of this. And my dear friend, Dr. Nayan Mitra, I'm sure will actually open many doors and windows in your minds as she talks about her passion and her profession. Thank you very much for giving me this time. I welcome all of you to join Aspire for Her. I'm sure my colleagues will be putting up the links on the YouTube chats. Please do uh, take this as my personal invitation to come and become a part of our community. In fact, we're just closing our ambassador program for the month of February. And if any of you want to work closely with us through a 1 month externship program and be a part of this, it'll be our pleasure to welcome you aboard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your vision and introducing us to Aspire for Her. Now, proceeding further, sailing through the social, academic, and corporate sectors, molded by the hardship of life, and now a leading personality guiding millions of women and children. We are honored to have with us Dr. Nayan Mitra, President of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, West Bengal Sustainable Business Council, mentor at Aspire for Her Foundation, and influence at the Women Innovator. Diligent mentors and guides like Dr. Nayan Mitra herself navigate women to work in the area of their interest, helping them grow the stance of women in our society. Dr. Nayan Mitra is an international authority on the subject of sustainability, CSR, and corporate governance. A resilient woman, a non peril role model, a creative educator, and a startling leader. Her company, Sustainable Advancement Private Limited, prospered and reached great heights under her supervision. It has become a holistic institution of international and national repute in the area of sustainability. She has a vast arsenal of skills and innumerable accomplishments. She has been the recipient of the prestigious Author Award at the Indian CSR Leadership Summit 3 times in a row and recognized as an exceptional woman of excellence at the Women Economic Forum 2019. So, without any further ado, let me welcome Dr. Nayan Mitra to share her views on the topic Sustainable Business Need of the Hour. I would also like to mention that there will be a question answer round at the end of the session. So you can post your questions in the comment box and we'll pick up it from there. There's also a Discord channel with mentors from Aspire to Her. To answer all your doubts, you can connect with them there. Link will be dropped in the chat box.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Madhura. It's my pleasure to be spending some time with the youth today. You have all invited and they're watching us live on YouTube. Yes, sustainability is a passion with me. As you can see that, I have always been proud to be a sustainability crusader, and now I also have my own, own startup. Because we have very less time to speak about a subject as vast as this, I will right away share screen and, I have a PowerPoint which I would like to share with you. Can you see the slide? Yes, I can continue, right? Okay. So sustainable business. My topic for today is sustainable business, which is the need of the hour. Yes, I'm Dr. Nayan Mitra, founder director of Sustainable Advancements OPC Private Limited. It's a one-person company and woman-owned. We broadly aim to promote the 5 Ps of the SDGs. And this is very important for all who are interested in the area of sustainable business. These 5 Ps: people, prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership. And this is kind of the guiding force for all businesses which aim to be sustainable business. Our modus operandi is we follow a 2-pronged approach where we have advocacy and implementation. whereby we bridge the gaps between ideas and actions, communities and businesses, India and the rest of the world. Our vision is to bring together and work in collaboration with the different stakeholders in the society for the society to bring about peace, prosperity, and continuity. We have an eclectic mix of expert committee member and collaborations with international partner organizations. And we run different kinds of training, workshop, research, publications on SDGs and CSR, as well as we have a product component which runs under the name ALNA. Impact. Yes, over the years, we have impacted over 200,000. To know more, please log on to sustainableadvancements.com. We also have, two YouTube channels which you can also look into. What we are going to cover today is A, understand what is sustainability. B, understand the various sustainable development goals. 3, internalize what sustainable business is. And 4, run through few successful case studies. Now, what is sustainability? When we come to the concept of sustainability, and now people are talking about it, people are excited about it, but what is it, right? Now, this term was first coined in 1994 by John Elkington. He's an author, advisor, serial entrepreneur, and he framed the sustainability framework, which comprises of 3 major factors: social, economic, and environmental. And this is also known as the triple bottom line. So when you look at social, economic, and environment, you'll find social is basically people, economic is profit, and environment is planet. So what he said was the purpose of any company should be all 3 rather than any 1 or any 2. For example, if a company which looks at only being social and economic, then it will be an equitable company, but not a sustainable company. Again, any company which whose purpose is only economic and environmental, then it's a viable company, but not a sustainable company. Again, being social and environment friendly, or the purpose is social and environment, then it's a bearable company. So to be sustainable, it has to have all the 3 parameters in place. However, in 2018, and that's when I met him, he said that it is time for me to rethink. So why did he have to rethink? Because there were 2 more P's which were added to these. And what are those 2 P's? Partnership and peace. And it was kind of understood to the SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals, that these 5 P's are utmost important to work together: people, prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership, for any company to be sustainable and to live on. So the concept of SDGs was born at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development in 2012. The objective was to produce a set of universally applicable goals that balances the 3 dimensions of sustainable development: environmental, social, and economic, as we just discussed. It replaces the Millennium Development Goals, and the SDGs comprises of 17 goals backed by 169 detailed targets. The 3 unique parameters of this is it has to be universal, which means that these goals apply to every nation, every sector, cities, businesses, schools, organizations. All are challenged to act. We cannot leave anyone behind. Second is integration. It is integrated. All these 17 goals and 169 targets, they are integrated. You cannot have one and not have the other. Third is transformation. So the main aim for this is to transform and bring about fundamental changes in how we live on Earth. Therefore, from here, we can come to understanding what sustainable business is, right? Sustainable business then means it has to be a business model, of course, which is profit driven and engages in sustainable practices. However, sustainable business is different from that of a social enterprise, not in terms of concept, but in terms of what it seeks. For example, a sustainable business will have a profit motive, but a social enterprise will also be working for all these sectors but may not have a profit motive. For example, an NGO, a civil society, can be a social enterprise. A Section 8 company can be a social enterprise, but a private limited should be a sustainable business. Now, here we come to the eternal debate of shareholder approach versus stakeholder approach, then doing well by doing good approach. So these are the approaches. For example, most companies till this date only spoke of the shareholder approach. What is meant by shareholder approach? That the purpose of every business is at the end only to have profit. So it has to have shareholders' profit at the core of a business. However, and this was again propounded by Freeman in 72, but the stakeholder approach, the propounder was Edward Friedman, and he spoke about that the purpose of every business is not to maximize its profit, but to work for its stakeholders. In other words, a business is merely a trustee for all the stakeholders around it. This again was discussed by Falk, another researcher, who said that any business can also do well by doing good. And this is again the sector where we are talking about sustainable businesses, that we can also do well by doing good. And this doing well, again, has to pertain to or percolate to the 5 Ps that we discussed: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. So what are the SDGs? Let's take a tour. SDG 1, and as I say, just think about all the kinds of businesses that you can have when we are talking about each of the goals. For example, when we are talking about end poverty in all its forms, everywhere, then what are you thinking about in terms of business? We are thinking about inclusive growth, right? Inclusivity. So on one side, we are involving we are impacting as many people around us, but with the entire aim that we are bringing in prosperity to people, but not harming the planet in a collaborative manner. So again, the 5 Ps are coming, in action. When we are talking about end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, then maybe what kind of businesses could we think about? We could think about having a business around food wastage. We could have something around, around storage of food. Third, ensure that this is the goal 3, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. We could think about anything which has a medicinal connotation. Ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning. Again, continuing education for all. Achieve gender equality and empower women and girls, exactly what Aspire for Her is doing. But Aspire for Her is a social enterprise, right? But if it had a business model, if it has a business model, then it could also be a sustainable business. Ensure access to water and sanitation for all. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Goal number 8 is to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. Again, if you see number 8, number 1, they're all connected, and one cannot live without the other. They are all together in this. Number 9, is to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. We could think about solar panels around this. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Number 11, make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. 12, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Number 13, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. And it's kind of an urgent need right now. Number 14 is to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources. Number 15 is to sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, halt biodiversity loss. Think about what you could do around those. We could think about ecotourism, we could think about so many other things. Promote just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. That's number 16. And number 17, which is the most important thing among all these goals, is to revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. So here we have the 17 goals, which are known as the global goals or the sustainable development goals, and they are all connected. Each one is important and they are all connected. You could find out more about this in quite a number of websites that, and channels that we already have. Now I'd, like to share a video with you, which speaks about how to make sustainability the new normal. Now, this is an interview which has been done with Dr. Nayan Mitra. Hi, the eternal debate lies in trying to define sustainability. Does it restrict to the corporations alone or the various stakeholders in the socio-economic environmental portfolio? There have been researches done in this field, empirical as well as conceptual, but unless there is a mass ownership where all the stakeholders pledge to abide by it, the journey is not complete. It is now more imperative than ever that sustainability is indeed made the new normal. I, Dr. Nayan Mitra, Founder Director, Sustainable Advancements, and I'm very happy to have with me today my dear friend, Professor Dr. Nayan Mitra, who is the founder of the Metrics Sustainability Consultancy in Germany. I have with him 3 books on the topic where we have dealt with the various facets of corporate social responsibility in the sustainability paradigm, which has been published by Springer International and has been extremely well received in this subject. A pleasure to have you here, Rene. Hi, Rene. What does sustainability mean to you?
Yeah, sustainability is a concept which is already quite for a long time around. Many people understand different things. For me, sustainability really means a way to live and to also do business that we won't destroy our planet for the first time, but also to make positive impact to our society and to other people. It also means to raise the opportunities, not only for us, but also for the next generation. So I see sustainability really as a North Star, a guiding star for us to get a sustainable development of our planet, which not only helps the people, but also fosters our economies.
That was very precise. Why is sustainability so important today?
Yeah, today we all realize that we live on one planet. The COVID crisis clearly shows that we only can win together, but there's also other crises ahead. For example, the climate change, but also the loss of biodiversity, but also the problems we have now in our economy. So we see that we really need to act together, and that makes sustainability even more important than 5 years ago. And as I said, all over the world, people realize that we need to change our business models. We also need to change our international supply chains, and we also need to change our mindset about business. Business really needs to become kind of a servant to the people. It needs to much more put people into the focus, their real needs of the people, and develop new business models which are following a purpose, but at the same time also make positive impact and also become a solution for all the problems ahead.
Tell me, does the concept of sustainability differ within economies?
I think, of course, we have different systems, economic systems all over the world, in India, Europe, but also United States. So I think it's always very important also to adapt this new kind of mindset of sustainability to the different cultures and different economic setting. As you know, in India, you have the CSR law. In Europe, the European Commission is very much talking about a new Green Deal. And in the United States, you also have people who come and say we need more innovation, more technical innovation, more digital innovation in order to solve the world problems. So you can already see different angles, but if you are looking at it, I think there's also a common understanding that sustainability is really about overcoming the old trade-off thinking. So we really need to think business and society, profitability and sustainability, not as an opposite system. It's not kind of opposing each other. It's really an integrated thinking about how to use business in order to develop society, but at the same time also think about what kind of social frameworks do we need in order to develop business. So it's kind of a actually new mindset, and I see this new mindset developing all over the world. There are now coming out books from the United States. We in Europe already for a long time have the idea of the social market economy, which goes in the same line of direction. But also in Asia, I see many people that say we need kind of this new mindset which overcomes old trade-off thinking. And of course, then collaboration becomes key. And I think one of the keys to foster the sustainable development in the world is really to bridge Asia, Europe, and United States and the Americas, and of course also Africa, in order to really collaborate globally to make this mind shift, this new mindset really happen. And as said, no matter which kind of culture you have, no matter which country you live in, every one of us can make a positive impact and be part of the solution rather than the problem.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rene. So now my last question is, how can we make sustainability the new normal?
Yeah, as said, new normal means, and becomes very clear now in the COVID crisis, we cannot just go back, because also before the COVID crisis, we already saw a couple of challenges and problems in our economic system. You can see that our interest rates are very low and that the investment opportunities we need are not enough. So we really need to somehow strengthen and recover from this COVID crisis. But of course, we cannot just do the same old things again. So there is a lot of change in the different industries. If you think about tourism, it's not about mass tourism anymore. We need kind of sustainable tourism, but also if you look at traveling, we need new ways of mobility. We will use digital formats like Zoom. And of course, the whole way how we produce things internationally will change. So the international supply chains need to be rethought. We will see much more circular economic models. We need much more regional value creation. And of course, this also has a big influence on the investors, because the investors are not looking for the old investment opportunities anymore. They really want to invest their money into the markets of tomorrow, in future markets. And that's why we probably need to rethink, and we have to start thinking the present today from the future. So it's not so important what to do today. We really need to think, how will our future look in 5 to 10 years? Which kind of mobility will we use? Which kind of energy systems do we need? Which kind of food production will be necessary to feed 10 billion people? And if you answer these questions, you see there's a fundamental change necessary in order to really make our planet and bring it to a sustainable development. And I see business key in this development, because finally it's business which are providing the products and services we need. And therefore we need entrepreneurship, we need smart business people, and of course we need politics who sets the right frameworks for those kind of new entrepreneurship. And finally, and I think this is most important, we need to start in our educational systems, in our universities, start with the young people, with the schools, in order to develop a new future fit mindset, which brings sustainability and also entrepreneurship, innovation, profitability together. And therefore, I think a new mindset will develop, and I can already see it particularly in different settings. And I see this as, I think, the most important thing now to change our mindsets in order to make sustainability the new normal.
Thank you so much, Rene. Okay. So here we had, I'm very happy that, I've been able to show you this video with Dr. Rene Schmidt-Peter. He's the endowed chair of Cologne Business School, and now he has his own company called Matrix, based out of Germany. And he's known as one of the stalwarts in the area of sustainability. And we are very privileged to have him as one of our partners in our company. And he's also a co-editor to most of my books in Springer, as well as we are also having a series on responsible leadership. Now let's come to the next slide. We have a YouTube channel which has quite a lot of content which has been created in the areas of sustainability. Even the SDGs in a capsule, where we have spoken about SDG 11, especially SDG 4, and many other things. So please feel free to subscribe and to watch these videos if you are really interested in pursuing something in sustainability. Now we will come right away into the area of few case studies. And as I think they mentioned that, Aditi mentioned that I wear two hats. So on one of my hats is my company. My second hat is I'm also the president of the Sustainable Business Council of West Bengal under WICI. WICI is the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And let me share with you some case studies of women and how wonderfully they have done over the years. So one of the case studies is, of course, mine. So as we mentioned that, sustainable advancements has to advocacy, as well as we work with, people, and we try and bring about financial inclusion and livelihood generation. And in the process, because our main aim is to advance sustainability, we work with all the 17 goals. Second is Sahana Bhomik. Sahana Bhomik runs Dito Social Welfare Association, where she fights cultural stigmas through education and community involvement. They provide information on health for women and girls. A staggering 200 million women likely lack information on menstrual hygiene. So she has her own product, which again she creates by empowering women at the grassroots level, and they also do the market linkage for that through workshops, and provide access to other female products as well. So among she has SDGs 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, which she directly she is involved in impacting. Pauline Larabari. But Sahana, mind you, when I am speaking about her Dito Social Welfare Association, she has both. On one side, she has a social enterprise, which is the Dito Social Welfare Association, which is not a profiteering company. But on the other hand, she has another profiteering company which works on some other project. Pauline Larabari is Y East. Again, she works in a social enterprise which was established in 2019, operates in East and Northeast India. It's an aggregating platform for individuals and organizations, has impacted approximately 12,000 people over the years. And she embodies goal 17, 11, 12, 13, 14 as well. Sujata Chatterjee, and hers is again, look at Twirl Store. She is a successful entrepreneur, sells unique fashion products, creates opportunities for women to work through Twirl's unique fashion products, right? And what do? They work in recycling and upcycling of old clothes. So she combats cloth wastage and raises awareness for sustainability. And they have collection centers all over India from where she collects clothes and makes wonderful products out of them. Lata Bhatia, she has her own enterprise called Kolkata Zero Waste Bazaar. But again, that's a social enterprise. So frustrated by rubbish and waste left behind, she started Green Legion Waste Education and Awareness. So Kolkata Zero Waste Bazaar began in 2019, uses zero waste products, helps reduce others' carbon footprint, aids disadvantaged women who make the items. And she is a collector. She collects all kinds of discarded material that would otherwise go to landfill. Works directly in impacting SDGs 5, 10, and 12. Priyanka Mandal, a very young entrepreneur, must be, few years older to you if you are in college. She started her own brand, Clan Earth. Plants 5 trees for every product sold, and it's a zero waste company. She is a zero waster. Her company also produces zero waste and works directly towards impacting SDGs 5, 10, 12. And the last case study is you, right? And this page needs to be filled up by your telling us what you work towards. So next time when I have a platform to speak about the kind of work is being done in the area of sustainable business, your name should feature here. It's time for us to walk the talk. There is, I think with this, I will end my session. Thank you. And we will open up for question and answer, because this is, this is a segment where there are more questions that needs to be answered. So
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was great. Your ethics of work and creativity is a guiding light for all of us. And now we are open for question answers round. You can type your questions in the chat box and we'll take up for it.
I look forward to that.
Yes, ma'am. So here goes our first question from Snehal Gupta. How does sustainable development make economic sense for society?
Yeah, of course. So if you think about anything, if you're empowering people at the grassroots level and making things about from them, then it makes economic sense for society. One of the examples that I shared with you was about Ditto social services. So what does Sahana do? Sahana empowers women at the grassroots level, empowers them to make things which are sustainable things, and they earn for themselves, right? Plus, maybe there's a profit sharing that happens. Again, when I'm talking about the 12 stores, Sujata, that's a sustainable business, right? So what do? They collect old clothes, recycle, upcycle them, empower women and self-help groups to make products out of them. So they earn for themselves, these women, they earn for themselves. And that is the economic sense that is being made for the society, as well as their kind to the earth, to the planet. So again, when you are and they're working in partnership. So when you are looking at the sustainable business model, then it kind of takes most of the piece. It takes people, prosperity, partnership, planet, and peace, of course, because when they're earning for themselves, they're self-reliant, then it brings about a lot of peace in the not only in their society but also in the geographical area. Okay, next question.
Next question we have: why there are more opportunities for girl in IT sector than boys? That's a big
Ah,
one.
well, I think maybe the girls are smarter, are they? I don't know. But yes, but jokes apart, the IT sector, most of if you look at the case studies of in the areas of diversity and inclusion, and this is a concept which has originated mainly from the West. And when we talk about the West, it's the sectors in California and all of those from where the IT sectors, the Silicon Valley, from where the IT sectors have generated. And they for them, because IT is again a global marketplace, right? So when they're talking about global marketplace, for them it was extremely important to have a diversity and inclusion culture within their workspace. And the moment when they spoke about diversity and inclusion, the first thing, the first step into D&I was including more and more women participation into their workspace. Then came, other things like, LGBTQ and plus and uh, caste, creed, religion, geographical areas. Those came in later. But the first step that they could take in terms of D&I was include the girls, include the women in their workspace.
Yeah, so that answers the question very well. We have the next question from Sai. What are the key barriers why a business is not choosing to be sustainable?
Yeah. I would say one of the key barriers for that is that people are not still aware. The awareness thing is still happening, because again, if you look at it, sustainable development goals came into force from January 2016, right? And when it started coming into force from 2016 in India, we are usually a little late in catching up, but when we catch up, then we catch up fast. And so when but so now we are catching up. Sustainable businesses are becoming a reality right now. People in the West, and for them also, there people in the West had more researches done for this. We didn't have so many researches done still till now, but now we are actually coming of age.
Yeah, I think that was my first step as an awareness to know about sustainable and business going hand to hand.
Right. Yeah.
So, the next question from Spriha: is there a way to maximize profit while maintaining a sustainable business model?
Okay, so Spriha, this is a very important question. When we talk about sustainability, or when we talk about business model, any kind of business model these days, we do not talk about maximizing profit anymore. What we talk about is optimizing profit, right? So when we are talking about sustainable business models, yes, we can definitely optimize profit. Yeah, but most sustainable businesses are, again, we call them impact entrepreneurship, or we call them so they're it's a purpose driven company, so we call them purpose driven company. So in a purpose driven company, the purpose is always the guiding force. It's not the profit that guides. So you do not make a sustainable business to maximize your profit. You make a sustainable business, you can optimize profit, you can create profit, but your core should always be purpose.
That was an intuitive question and an answer. So, can we have the next question? Yeah. What is the difference between sustainable development and sustainable advancement?
Sustainable development is what we spoke about. What is when sustainable development, basically by we mean the sustainable development goals. So the 17 SDGs and the 169 targets, those are the sustainable development. Sustainable advancement is advancing those goals, right? And incidentally, that is also the name of my company. So Sustainable Advancements is the name of my company, and the reason why I made this name was the purpose of my company was to advance the sustainable development goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that answers the question. Yeah. Next, we have Vishal. What impact does pandemic have on psychology of sustainability, sustainable development, and global economy in the year of 2021? Okay.
Yeah. I think, there's a huge impact that the pandemic has created, because first and foremost, it kind of uh, it kind of showed that sustainability is so much important for us in our day-to-day life, and for us to practice, not just practice but also preach. Why? Because the pandemic, one of the reasons why this pandemic happened again, and there are predictions of more pandemics, more climate change due to climate change, and all of that is because we have not been sustainable, because we have lived it for the moment for too long. So now it is time for us to think about the future. It is now time for us to have a more restrictive and conservative lifestyle. We have, like, goal 12, which talks about responsible consumption and production. It's more important for us to think on those think on those lines. It's time for us to think in terms of uh, waste management, in terms of circular economy. So these things have suddenly come up in the forefront. In fact, because you asked, there is also a paper which, let me see if I can, just a minute. Let me share this once more with you, just, this is a paper which, I kind of authored, and it came out in India CSR. It's called The Key Sustainability Lessons in the Time of Pandemic, and it's exactly the question that you asked. So maybe, you could read through this paper, and it speaks about all the 17 goals and individually the lessons that we have learned. It's there on my website as well, but otherwise also I think you'll be able to find it on the web.
So I
Okay.
think Vishal got the answer. You can read the paper. Okay, next question we have Garima. What should a person focus on while pitching business model focusing sustainable development? Keeping in view the point that investors mainly focus on the profit they will be earning.
Yeah. So of course, yes, but when you are when you're having a sustainable business, then you have to kind of match the profit with the purpose. So the main point you have to, if it's a sustainable business that you have in mind, the process should be such that it kind of addresses the sustainability processes. The objective of being a sustainable organization. But yes, the outcome would always be profit, because it is a sustainable business. You're not talking about a social enterprise. So the outcome will be profit, but the process will be such that and the resources used will be such that it caters to all the 5 P's, or at least most of the 5 P's of sustainability. Yeah.
It seems we have a curious audience, but let's take up a
More
last
questions?
question.
Okay.
Okay. Um, as a woman in business, do you think there's a glass ceiling? Okay.
Okay. Yes. See, I don't know whether as a woman in business there's definitely a glass ceiling, but then you select a business, which you can maneuver in your own terms. So it's not that, I selected a business that I wanted to maneuver in my own terms. It's never like easy. No business is easy, actually. The moment you think about business, it is a 24/7, and there's no day, there's no night, there's no retiring, there's no nothing rest. But yes, in terms of competitiveness, uh, yes, there is competitiveness. One of the things which kind of has helped, and I think, and I'm very fortunate that I selected this sector, is when we think about people who are purpose driven, and especially because we are discussing sustainable business, people who are purpose driven, there is also, certain things that they have. For example, usually they are, uh, they have a lot of empathy. They have a heart in their business, and that is something which is very important. And when people, irrespective of being a man or a woman or any gender, anything, if you have a heart, and which works for you, it becomes easier. It becomes a more gentler, a more kinder world. That's what I think.
That was an amazing answer. But I think there are more questions. If you have any query left, you can always join Aspire for Her and go to the website of Sustainable Advancement. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. It was an honor to have you with us. Thank you
My
so much.
pleasure. Thank you so much, Aditi.
Thank you, ma'am. For all the audience, I have a note. We all have a series of events going on right now, so please stay tuned. We'll meet soon. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I leave the studio, Aditi.
Yes, ma'am.